A painful story of my love begins quietly inside where everything rested before words arrived. Dear, I remember first glances softly, where eyes met and hearts trembled, unsure of tomorrow. Every smile carried fragile hope inside, every laugh hid silent tremors beneath. I gave everything without knowing consequences, without expecting returns, simply following feeling that refused caution. Love became fire, gentle yet consuming, warming moments quickly before burning them into fragile memory. Dear, we touched carefully, like glass, afraid of breaking even the smallest connections between hearts. I wrote letters, silent words, floating through nights and empty spaces unseen. You read sometimes, smiled occasionally, never fully responding, never fully letting feelings become known. Pain grew quietly, layering inside slowly, like dust settling upon fragile shelves of hopeful desire. Every touch carried promise unspoken, unfulfilled. Every gaze contained fragile questions, silently screaming for answer. Dear, I followed every step softly, tracking moments carefully, hoping they would lead somewhere closer. But distance kept its cruel rhythm, pushing us gently apart without violence, only leaving emptiness. We spoke, less, not from silence, but from fear, that words might break fragile illusion. Dear, longing grew like shadows slowly, stretching inside rooms where laughter once had lived freely. Even night betrayed, turning quiet hours into endless wandering, restless thinking, trembling. Pain became constant, residing in breaths, in heartbeat tremors, in quiet sighs that never reached you. I tried reasoning, tried forgiving circumstances, tried ignoring distance, but every attempt folded gently away, returning nothing to me, dear. I ached from seeing hope fade slowly within, while your presence remained just out of understanding's reach. Every gift given, every word written, every touch imagined, fell into shadow, unclaimed, unseen, lost. Love became sorrow, pain became longing, longing became shadow, shadow became silence, silence became me. I watched you from quiet distance, admiring softly always, knowing everything inside would never fully belong to my grasp. Dear, I wept in secret corners, holding memories tightly, letting tears fall without notice anywhere. Every night whispered the same truth. Love can exist without being held, without ever returning. Even when hearts tremble together briefly, even when lips almost meet fully, something unseen lingers, holding final touch away. Dear, I remember every painful lesson, every fragile moment, every time hope was met with distance instead of closeness. I loved blindly, without caution's guard, without thought of how life might tear feeling apart. Pain became companion, living inside quietly, never leaving fully, always reminding softly what love can do when unmet. Even now, I carry remnants, shards of feeling piercing quietly, gently, teaching endurance, silently, without asking permission. Dear, this story is not finished, even if moments have ended quietly, even if distance refuses return completely, because love remains, even within pain, even within absence, even when everything else disappears. Slowly, I write it, living it, breathing, holding it tightly, not for you, but for truth, for what existed even for a while. Dear, pain teaches, pain shapes, pain reminds of what is worth everything, even when unmet, even when alone. Love's shadow lingers, soft, quiet, persistent, refusing to leave, even when rejected, even when unanswered. Dear, this story is mine only, yet somehow it belongs to you, because feeling existed, because hearts collided, even briefly, truly, even painfully, completely, and so I hold it softly, without expectation, without request for return, only gratitude quietly for what lived, for what burned, for what still exists inside me, dear. Mornings arrived, without your presence, empty spaces, whispered reminders of absence. Every moment passed slowly, quietly, painfully, as if time itself knew my suffering. I walked alone through crowded streets, feeling invisible shadows following behind silently. Even laughter around me seemed hollow, mocking fragile heartbeats that once belonged to a shared world. Dear, I remembered softly your touch, how warmth lingered even after leaving, how silence spoke louder than words. I wrote letters that never traveled, thoughts trapped inside fragile paper, unnoticed, hoping wind carried feelings beyond distance. Dear, nights stretched like endless deserts, stars watching quietly, bearing witness silently to sorrow unspoken yet deeply understood. Pain became constant, living inside quietly, growing roots slowly, holding me captive within endless longing. I whispered your name without sound, letting breath carry soft echoes softly into empty darkness. Dear, love became both warmth and storm, gentle yet devastating, quiet yet impossible to escape. Every memory returned like soft ghosts, haunting heart spaces, reminding me always of moments stolen, moments never mine. I walked past places we visited, feeling traces linger in air, everywhere, reminding me endlessly of what existed. Dear, I tried to move forward, to forget, release, but every step brought your shadow back into vision. Pain whispered lessons, teaching endurance slowly, showing strength within fragility, patience within hopeless longing, silence within screaming heart, even joy betrayed, reminding me softly how love can exist yet break, how hearts can hold everything, nothing. Dear, I ached for small gestures, for recognition somewhere, for tiny understanding, for fleeting acknowledgement that never came. Every sigh carried weight heavier than words, unspoken, yet felt deeply inside. I slept poorly, dreaming of moments, touches that vanished, whispers that dissolved before reaching me. Dear, hope remained like faint candle, flickering softly inside, though wind blew relentlessly against flame. I walked streets remembering your laughter, soft words spoken, gentle glances shared, all now ghosts, all now echoes. Dear, I realized pain teaches more than joy sometimes, for it stays, marks hearts deeply, reminds us always. I wrote endlessly, letters to nowhere, poems to silence, confessions to shadows, hoping wind would carry meaning forward. Dear, tears fell quietly in darkness, absorbed by sheets, unnoticed by world, ignored by passing time. Pain grew steadily, stretching deeper inside, touching nerves raw, reminding me always of what love can demand. Quietly, I spoke softly to empty rooms, to absent echoes, to memory alone, finding comfort slightly, but never resolution fully. Dear, distance taught harsh truths slowly, that love can exist without holding, that hearts can break while beating, that longing never fades completely alone. I remembered laughter, soft hands holding, nights spent breathing, hearts beating together, all now faded, all now lost. Dear, I wandered through empty streets, past familiar shops, past cafes silent, past memories lingering like ghosts behind. Pain whispered constantly, remember, endure, continue. Its voice soft but undeniable inside. I wrote your name endlessly, quietly, letting ink bleed like tears falling, letting letters carry my unspoken heart into unseen distance. Dear, I loved without expectation, hope, or guarantee at all, giving everything fully, even when returned by nothing but silence. Time passed slowly, days blended together, each identical, heavy, marked by absence only. Dear memories haunted like shadowed companions, reminding me gently of what I could never reclaim. Even sunlight betrayed, casting golden traces in empty places, reminding heart silently of your absent presence. Dear, pain softened into quiet resilience, teaching lessons slowly, shaping heart carefully, forming endurance gently within fragile spaces. Love became story, pain became teacher, silence became friend, and I remained within fragile understanding. I walked streets alone once again, feeling everything return, feeling ghosts of what was real. Dear nights stretched endlessly before me, each second heavier, each breath quieter, each memory sharper, each hope smaller. Yet somehow I remained standing softly, holding this story, my painful love, without releasing fully. Dear, even absence taught me meaning, taught me depth, taught me endurance, taught me quiet without apology, explanation. I lived within this quiet pain, carrying love gently, without needing return, without expecting response, simply holding truth that existed once. Dear, this story continues silently inside, always lingering quietly, always teaching softly, always shaping gently. The person I have become slowly, dear. Mornings arrived cold and silent, light filtering softly through empty rooms. I remembered moments we shared quietly, touches fleeting gently, smiles exchanged carefully, laughter echoing softly inside fragile hearts. Dear, I followed traces of memory, paths we walked together once fully, now haunted silently. Every street whispered your name softly, every corner reminded of vanished presence, every shadow lingered with traces unseen. Pain became companion, living quietly always, following steps endlessly, reminding of love that could not stay within reach. I spoke softly to air alone, letting words float, without expectation returned, even silence. I answered, but only partially, like wind brushing against trembling branches, moving yet never touching fully anything. Dear, nights became longer, deeper, heavier, stretching endlessly inside my restless heart, filling every thought with quiet sorrow. I remembered smiles, soft hands holding, nights spent breathing together in silence, hearts beating closer, all now gone. Even dreams betrayed, showing fleeting moments, then slipping away, leaving nothing behind but pain quietly settling. Dear, longing became habit inside, slowly, living quietly, always shaping every heartbeat, marking every breath, teaching endurance gently